First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello and welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday starting at 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics. I always like to make sure everybody knows that in case it's your first time joining us, in which case be sure to check out all of our other segments. Go to that Fox 12 Oregon app on whatever platform you are on. Today, we are talking about something that actually everybody in the Portland area can go attend. And these are some seminars that are going to be going on in association with the Japanese Studies program at Portland State University. We're going to be getting into that and talking about that program a little bit more. Joining us right now, we are here with Dr. Patrick Terry from Portland State University. And Doctor, always good to have you here on the show to go through all of this and talk about some of these different things. And I think, you know, to start off, to give everybody a base level playing field, would you mind just telling us about this Center for Japanese Studies at Portland State and what makes it so unique here in the Northwest?
Well, thank you, Greg. I think that there's many aspects that make it unique, but one of the first things is that we're celebrating an anniversary. The Center for Japanese Studies has been around for 25 years and has not only provided a home for faculty members that are affiliated with Japanese studies. So for instance, I'm located in the School of Film, but our affiliated faculty members come from a range of different programs: history, world language and literature, linguistics, economics, that provide a robust range of research and interest in Japanese studies. But more specifically, the center has been a fostering for the development of our students and our public to have a knowledge of Japanese culture that is unique in the area, in that we are offering programming not only for our students to take classes and to be aware of things like study abroad, but also public lecture series and performing arts opportunities that are really encouraging for the public to join. I mean, we are a center that, unlike a lot of other places in the university community, rely on the public for our ability to continue. So that comes from participation, but it also comes from donations. We don't have robust funding from the university community, which again provides a stronger relationship with our larger Portland area community. And those relationships and affiliations that we've had and have developed over the years, led by our director, Professor Ken Ruoff in the history department, has facilitated the 25 years of programming that we've been able to provide. And so again, there are the specifics of interest in Japanese studies, but more broadly, it is a conversation about academics and lifelong learning that's facilitated through the center.
When you look at all of those different things that this is providing, you know, not only, as you mentioned, through the university, but here for the public in general, as far as education about Japanese culture and about some of those different aspects that you mentioned, how important do you think something like that is just for the city as a whole, for the relationship that Portland has and the Northwest has with Japan, even as an economic partner?
Oh, I think it's immensely important, and that speaks to why the relationship between the community and the university is not facilitated only by faculty members. We are made up of an advisory board that comes from a broad range of individuals that are former academics or active academics, but also those people tied directly to the business community, people in the Port of Portland, people who have had lengthy careers in the Sony Corporation, that are leading the way in communicating and facilitating conversations with our larger Portland area. And that also includes organizations like the Consular Office for Japan in Portland, the Japan America Society of Oregon, the Portland Japanese Garden that helped to collaborate on our Kanpai Japan series that looked at food culture in Japan, as well as, of course, the beauty of the garden itself. We also have the Japanese American Museum of Oregon, which was formerly known as the Oregon Nikkei Legacy Center, and even our nearby Portland Art Museum has helped to facilitate programming and continue the conversation that the center provides a foundation for. So even though we are very specific on Japanese studies and Japanese culture, we are connecting with larger organizations in the Portland community that, whether you're someone that is a current or former student at Portland State, or just is generally interested in Japanese studies, there are so many venues and avenues to explore that interest in our community, not just at Portland State, but we provide a nice basis for people to jump off and see where there are other ways that you can connect and collaborate with people with similar interests.
Fascinating, and I think that is showcased by that, just showing those different organizations, different ways, and different avenues, as you mentioned. So when it comes to, learning more, and somebody is interested in this, these opportunities that are coming through this program that are for the public, so you don't have to be a student to attend a lot of these, and I know a lot of them are free as well. So if you wouldn't mind, could you give us some examples of what some of those different ways and opportunities there are for people out there who may have an interest, whatever that may be, to participate in something like this?
Absolutely. So on a basic level, there are many avenues to audit courses. So connected with the Center for Japanese Studies, we have, of course, our term-based classes that we offer. I'm currently offering a course on the bubble economy, and I have several individuals that are lifelong learners that audit my courses. So that's a term-by-term opportunity that can happen on a professor-by-professor basis. But more specific in terms of our programming, we have two major branches. The first is our lecture series that attracts world-famous speakers in Japanese arts and literature, business, politics, and society. Our speaker series has included people like Carol Gluck, Donald Keene, and most recently, William Tsutsui, who is the chancellor of Ottawa University in Kansas. He gave a rousing conversation about the bubble period Godzilla films. He's the foremost Godzilla scholar in the United States, and really encouraged a lively debate about films that were coming out from the mid-'80s to the early '90s. And so that's just a sampling of some of the more recent conversations we've had, but we've also had programming that looked at, like I mentioned, food culture. So people actually got to actively make food as well as learn about food culture in Japan. We did a retrospective look at the famous author and pop culture figure of Mishima Yukio, at the 50th anniversary of his passing in 1970. So there's a range of programming each term, from something that might be culture and arts related, or something that might be more connected with the business community, having people like the chairman of the board from the Kikuman Corporation, or individuals like the CEO of Columbia Sportswear give talks that, again, help facilitate a range of conversation that isn't about any one particular topic, but gives people a survey of all things that can make up the arts and life connected to Japan.
What do you think it is about the Northwest that fosters such connection to Japanese culture?
I mean, there are potentially many different threads. I mean, one of the most basic is our geographic connection that on the West Coast, up until recently, there were direct flights right to Tokyo, which provided a means for tourism that I think exceeded the ability for people in other parts of the region. We also have our academic community, from south as Eugene at the University of Oregon to up north at the University of Washington. And of course, right here at home at Portland State University, there are robust Japanese language and culture studies programs that facilitate generation after generation people with an interest in Japanese culture to pursue that academically, but also to pursue that in their careers and business life, to foster relationships that then could lead them to working directly for a Japanese company or utilizing language skills, cultural acquisition to facilitate their lengthy careers and lives. And that's, again, a part of the people that participate in our programming, but also help to facilitate conversations with people that might not even think that they would want to attend one of these talks. It, again, fosters a conversation.
Yeah, and something interesting to learn about, being quite honestly, for anybody who even has an interest or just was like, hey, here's something I don't know anything about. Let me go learn something about this and engage
Exactly.
in that. Well, and you have a seminar that's coming up as well, and a lecture coming up, and I wouldn't mind if you don't mind telling us what that is.
Oh, sure. So this series that is happening in the spring is related to the bubble economy, which went from the mid-1980s to the early 1990s, which, again, while it's a short period of time, echoes some of the changes that are happening in government and life right now. So the title of my talk is It's Tough Being a Film Studio, Consumption, Tora-san, and the Bubble Economy Productions. And this is looking at a film series that, while it ran from 1969 to 1995, gives us a nice snapshot of film production and life in the bubble era. And what's unique about this series, not only going from the late 60s to the mid 90s, is that in total, there were 48 feature films made during that period of time. And through a little bit of development thereafter, there are now 50 films associated with this series. So in world cinema, it's one of the longest running and most entries in any film franchise of a live action series ever. However, unlike other types of things like Godzilla, we haven't really had a discussion of these films in the United States for as popular as they are in Japan. And so that was an aspect of why I wanted to utilize this series as a basis for my talk. But following my talk, we also have another key component of the center, and that's our performing arts program that's headed up by our artistic director, Professor Larry Comines. And he's going to be performing or directing a performance of a Kyogen play, which is a comedic performance in the theater arts of Japan. So he'll often, year after year, provide live theater events of kabuki performances or Kyogen performances. I remember a robust show of the 47 Ronin tale, one of the most famous samurai tales in Japanese history. And this year is going to be a light comedic tale, which, much like the Tora-san series, a little bit of light comedy I think is really needed right now. And this performance is going to be happening on June 14th, and tickets are available right now. So that's an opportunity to, again, see something that you really don't get to have an opportunity anywhere else.
Well, for everybody out there who wants to participate or learn more about the program and these specific lectures and seminars that are coming up, what's the best place for them to go?
Oh, definitely Portland State University's Center for Japanese Studies website. There are a number of links that give you access to our programming and the upcoming events that are going to be taking place, but also a place for you to think about potentially donating to the program, because unlike other spaces, the Center for Japanese Studies is entirely donation-led by our community. So your attendance, your engagement with it, and your donations provide the means for us to foster continued programming like the lecture series and like our performing arts series. And so I really hope that we can have as many people join us for my talk this Thursday and also for the Kyogen performance in June.
All right, well, Doctor, thank you very much for joining us here today. I really appreciate your time in talking about this and, you know, educating the public about some of these different offerings that are out there and different ways that they can engage with that. And thanks for being here on Fox 12 Now, as always.
Thank you, Greg.
And for everybody watching, again, this is Fox 12 Now, as I mentioned it several times, and that's to make sure that you know we are live streaming here. We get to have these longer form conversations and segments here as part of this show. If you have an idea for a segment, feel free to send me an email, fox12now, fox12now@kptv.com. We'll take a look. Can't guarantee that every time that'll work, but please feel free to send me that email and I'll see what we can do, and maybe we can work out a segment or an interview, something along those lines. But thanks for joining us. Don't forget to download the Fox 12